Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kelvin Johnson. This is Windows 11 Tutorials Inside Out Part 10. In this tutorial, I'll be discussing about managing users' account, password, and credentials. So I'll be going deep into creating and managing user account. We're also going to be changing account settings. We're also going to be I'm going to show you how to use a PIN code to actually sign into your device. We're also going to be changing the permissions and rights of the users. I will also be showing you how to use the picture to actually sign in with to combine your pictures with your password. And also we'll be discussing about the user's account and then security group. So before you begin to work with a Windows 11 device, you must sign in with the credentials for a user account that is authorized to use that device. User accounts are essential of Windows security and are key to providing a personalized user experience. As an administrator, you determine which user accounts are allowed to sign into a specific device. So you can configure a user account on a Windows 11 device to accomplish the following goals. 1. To control access to files and resources. 2. To audit system events such as sign-ins and the use of files and other resources. 3. To sync files and settings between different computers when signing in with the same account. And 4. You want to actually sign in automatically to emails and other online services. So let me discuss about creating and managing users' accounts. So now when you configure Windows 11 for the first time on a new computer or a device, or you actually did a clean installation of Windows 11, the set of programs create a profile for one user account, and which is an administrator account. So an administrator account is one that has a full control over the computer. So depending on what type of account you select during setup, that initial account can be a Microsoft account, an Azure Directory account as an Azure ID account, or a local user account. So a fourth user account type is actually a local Active Directory domain account, which is only available on a managed network system. So, but if you actually upgrade from a Windows 10 to Windows 11, or you upgrade your device from Windows 8.1 to 11, you already had a local account set up in your previous operating system. So what happens is this: Windows migrates those accounts to your Windows 11 installation. So you don't need to actually you can actually create a new account after installing your device, but mind you, your accounts and all your information, your apps and files, if you decide to keep those files, will be migrated from your previous device, either Windows 10 or Windows 8.1 to Windows 11. So now let's try to create a new account. So what is going to happen is this: if you want to create a new account, what you need to do is you need to go to your Start menu, and here you can see we have the option called Settings. So click on Settings. So in Settings we have Account, so click on Account, and under Account we have the option called Family and Other Users. So click Family and Other Users. Here you can see we have Add Other User Account. You can see we have our local account. Here we can actually sign in with a Microsoft account, which I have not assigned in at this moment with a local account. So we can actually add an account. So automatically you can see that it's actually trying to ask me to enter an email address, or if you don't have an Office 365 address. But we can actually click on the options that says I don't have this person's sign-in information. So if I click that, it's going to give me more options to create an account. Here you can see it says create an account. We can enter a Microsoft email address. So we can use a phone number instead. We can actually get a new email address if we don't have one, or we can add a user without a Microsoft account. So now we want to actually add a user without a Microsoft account. So you need to click add a user without a Microsoft account, and here we're going to enter the user name. So it says who is going to use this PC. What we need to do is, let me just say, well, Thomas is going to use this device, and then say make it secure. So I'm going to enter a password, and then I'm going to enter a password again, confirm the password, and let me just scroll down. Here you can see it says in case you forget your password, we actually need some security information. But if I decide not to actually answer the security information, just click next and see what happens. You see it is actually required for you to enter that information. So what we need to do is we need to actually select one of the question, and they say, okay, what's your first pet name? I can just say, well, my first pet name is a dog. And the second question is, what's the name of the city where you were born? I can enter Amsterdam. And the third question is, was the childhood name? Then here I can just select anything and just select Kel. And then we can just we have the option now to down click next without any error message. And you can see that the account of Thomas have been created. So here you can now actually change the account type. You can see it says it's a local account, and this account is actually just an ordinary user's account. So here it says account options. So we can actually click change account type, and you can see it's actually a standard account, so which means that this user does not have any admin privilege on this device. So to actually change this user to an administrator, I will actually just click on change and then click select administrator and then click OK. But for now, I'm actually going to leave this account to be standard. But if I go, let me just right click on my start menu, and here you can see we have computer management. So click computer management. Let's actually modify some of the settings of that user's account. And so if I go to under my computer management, you can see we have the local users and groups. So click on that. Here you can see we have the users. So now here you can see we have the account name. This is my account name, and here we have the account of Thomas. So if I double click on it, and you can see now it says the password never expires, and here you can see Thomas is actually a member of the user, and here you don't have any profile. So if I click on general, you can see I have the option to actually enter the full name of Thomas. So I can actually just enter Thomas Johnson, and you can give a description of that account. And here you can actually change and says, well, the users cannot change the password, or the user must change password at next logon. So when you say the user must change password at next logon, is when the user tries to log on to that device or for the first time, he or she will be requested to change his password. Definitely, this is actually a good policy if you work for a company. But when you are living at home with the same user, maybe it's for your child, you can actually create a new password for that child, or you can ask your child or your spouse to enter his or her password. So here we can actually just say the password never expires, and I'll click apply, and then I'll click OK. Here you can see we have the full name of Thomas now. It is Thomas Johnson. So we can also reset the password of Thomas from this account. Here we have the option to say set a password. But if I go to control panel, let me just go to control panel and just type control, and here we have the option control panel, and here we have user account. So if I click on user account, you can see it says we have some options. It says make changes to my account in PC settings, which of course is going to take me automatically to PC settings. Or we can say manage another account. If I click manage another account, you see it gives me more options. It gives me the options of the two accounts which are actually configured on this device. Here it says add a new user in PC setting. We'll have to click that to actually create a new account as like what we did before. But here I can actually click on Thomas account, and you can see it says change the account name. I can change the account name from here. I can also change the password of Thomas from here as well, so I can type a new password. And then also we can actually change the account type by switching from standard to administrator. But I can also actually delete this account if I think that this account is no more necessary. Here you have the option to delete the files, keep files, or let me just click cancel. You see, before you delete Thomas account, Windows can automatically save the content of Thomas Johnson desktop and document more to a new folder called Thomas Johnson on your desktop. So if you keep files, of course the files will be kept, but the account will be deleted. So I just want to click cancel because I don't want to delete that. So at this moment, we actually created a local account, just as the option it gives us when we try to create a new account. You can see that we have the option to create a Microsoft account. So let me discuss about the 4 different types of accounts that we have. So the first one is the Microsoft account. So when you set up a new account on a device running Windows 11, the default option strongly encourages you to sign in using a Microsoft account. So probably when I try to create this account of Thomas, you saw that I actually, for example, let me just click add an account. you can see that Microsoft will actually encourage you to create a new account using an email address. So if you really don't know about Windows option or that there are other options, you'll be thinking that the only option you have is to actually use an email address or a phone to actually create an account. So if you probably use Microsoft account for years, perhaps without even knowing about this. So if you have signed up for a Microsoft service including Outlook.com, or which is of course is Hotmail, Office 365 Home or Personal, Skype for Business or Skype, or Xbox Live, definitely you already own a Microsoft account. So you can always use that email address to configure your account. So the second account we have is a local account. A local account is one that stores its sign-in credentials and other account data on your PC. So a local account works only on a single computer. It does not require an email address as the user's name, nor does it communicate with an external server to verify credentials. So you can see that this account I just created, the Thomas Johnson account, is actually a local account and it's not a Microsoft account. So by creating an account, it does not actually connect to any server to verify, because all the information it was actually stored on this device, compared to the Microsoft account, which stores its information in the cloud. So by using the advantage of using Microsoft account is this: it gives you the opportunity to be able to sync your device to the cloud. So which means if I try to set up my email address and my email address is actually linked to that account I'm using on my device, everything is going to go automatically without me actually trying to enter my password or verify my credentials again. So the third account we have is the Azure Active Directory account. So the third type of account available during the initial setup of Windows 11 Pro, Enterprise or Education is a work or school account using your Azure Active Directory. So this account only works when you are actually you're working in a company or you're attending a school. Definitely your school will definitely have an Azure Active Directory Office 365 tenant. And the fourth one we have is the Active Directory domain account. So in organization with domains running Active Directory services, administrator can join a PC to the domain, creating a domain machine account. And this only works with Windows 11 Professional, Enterprise, or Education. So if you are using Windows 11 Home, you will not be able to use the Active Directory domain account. So just like I showed you before, that we can actually personalize our account by changing the type of account. But if I go to my start menu here, and you can see I have my account name here, which is called Kelvin. You can see I have a very beautiful, handsome photo, the link to my account. And also, if I right click on this account, you can see we have different options. We have the option to actually change account settings, log out, and sign out. So here I can actually switch to Thomas Johnson. But if I click change account settings, so you can see that it's going to actually take me to this option where I can actually change. You can see choose a file or take a photo. So I can open a camera to actually take a photo and change this photo I have here. You can see it's a local account, and also I'm an administrator of this device. It says Windows is better when settings and files are automatically synced. So what happens is, if I sign in with a Microsoft account instead, it's going to actually switch my account from local to become a Microsoft login account, which of course is going to sync my device to my Office 365 in the cloud. And also it says here related settings, you can see my account, which of course I already configured the Office 365, Microsoft 365 on this device before, but I actually sign out just for this training purpose. So if I click on, I can start to click this option here to actually manage my account. You see it's going to take me to the cloud, whereby I have the option to actually manage my account. You can see here my name, Kelvin Johnson, and that's my name, and that's my company name. And here's my security info, my password, my settings. And here we can see different options. Here I can see the devices. I can click on devices. You can see the devices I have used this login name to log on. And also here we can, if I go to my security info, here you can see the phone number which is actually linked to that account. I can actually delete that phone number or you can see we have the Microsoft Authenticator, and this is my mobile device that's actually linked to this account. And here I can decide to go back again to organizations. So on organization, you can see that's my domain name. And if I go to my sign-ins, let me just go to my sign-in, and you can see that I'm going to get the history of my sign-in. So this is actually handy and very good. So it's going to give you all the different options to where you sign in and the past. It's also going to list the operating system you sign in, and also list the browser you used to actually authenticate that device, because if you are using Office 365. So let me close this again, and let's go back again to our settings. And here, let me just go back again to accounts. And you can see on our account, we have the different options. So here it says your info. If I click on my info, here it's going to give me my information here, just what I saw before. Just I can actually take a photo to actually change this photo on my account settings. So here we have the email and account. So if I click email and account, you can see the email address which is actually associated with this device. But right now, I actually sign out of this device using this, using this account. So if I need to actually sign again, I want to actually add. It says add a Microsoft account or add a workplace or school account. So I can decide to just click on add a workplace or school account, and actually decide to re-sign in again using this email address, and automatically my account will change from local to a Microsoft sign-in account. Here we have the different sign-in options. This I want to actually focus on. Here you can see we have different options here. It says the facial recognition. This option is currently unavailable because for this device I'm using actually a virtual machine. So you can see I'm using a VMware Workstation Pro to actually do this training. So that's why you can see here I don't have a fingerprint, because if I could do this on my Windows 11 device on my laptop, definitely I will have this option to configure a fingerprint. Okay, let me try to go to the settings of my Windows 11 device on my laptop. So let me just go to my start menu and then settings, and let me move my settings to this recording. So let me just take it here and then expand it. Here you can see this is the settings of my Windows 11 laptop. So if I minimize this, you can see this is the settings of my virtual machine. So let me just open the settings here, and I go to accounts. You can see if I go to sign in options, you can see I have say facial recognition Windows Hello. So I have the option to actually use facial recognition on this device. Why? Because I have an inbuilt camera on my Windows on my laptop, and for the fingerprint I also have a fingerprint option to actually configure the fingerprint recognition. So I couldn't do that on my virtual machine because I don't have a camera on my virtual machine, and also I don't have the fingerprint recognition on my virtual machine. So I'm just showing you this to see that it is actually possible to configure this option. So let me minimize this again back. So then if you go to actually pin, you can see the pin, sign in with the pin recommended. So if I just check this, just unfold this, you can see change your pin. At this moment, I'm actually logging into this device using a password, but I can actually change my pin. Here you can see enter the pin. That's my old pin, and here is I'm going to enter a new pin, and then confirm your new pin, and then you will click OK. So you have the option to actually include letters and symbols if you wish, and we can actually click on the pin requirement. You can see it must be at least 4 characters long, can be longer than 127 characters. So that's minimum is 4 characters. You cannot enter just 2 characters. May include an uppercase letter, lowercase letters, digits, may include special characters. Can't be a number pattern such as the 1 2 3 4 5 6 or the 111, which is of course simple to guess. So I'm just going to close that. And also you can see we have the security key. It says sign in with a physical security key. So you have the option to actually sign into to apps with a physical security key. Definitely I'm not going to configure this or go into details about this at this moment. And here we have the option of the password, which of course if I click sign in with a password, I can decide to change my password from here. So I can click change, and here it says I will need to provide my current password. Let me just enter my current password and then click next. And now we need to provide a new password for our profile. So I just want to show you that this is the option where you will need to change your password in Windows 11. And here we have the option to actually configure a picture password. It says swipe and tap your favorite pictures to unlock your device. So here I can actually just click add, and then first of all I will need to enter my password for this device, create a picture password, and then you will need to actually just swipe. It says swipe and tap your favorite photos to unlock your device. But I don't want to actually configure that at the moment. So if I scroll down here, you can see we have some other additional settings. Say for improved security, I only allow Windows Hello sign-in for Microsoft account in this device, which of course is recommended. And say if you have been away, when should Windows require you to sign in again? So we have different options here. You can see it says when PC wakes up from sleep or never. We can say never, and which means that definitely my device will always be on. I will not. It says when should Windows require you to sign in again? So I can say never. I can say when my PC wakes up from sleep. But I'm going to select my when the PC wakes up from sleep. And here we have the dynamic lock. So when you configure dynamic lock, let me just unfold this. You can see it says allow Windows to lock your device automatically when you are away. So what happens is this: you must have Bluetooth configured on your device for this to be successful. Again, I'm using a virtual machine, so I will not be able to actually configure this. But let me go back again to my Windows 11 setting on my laptop, and here we have the option for dynamic lock. So if let me just first of all show you what the problem is. If I decide to say check on allow Windows to lock your device automatically when you are away, dynamic lock is not working because Bluetooth is off on your PC. So go to Bluetooth and other device to turn Bluetooth on. So Bluetooth is not on this device because this is a virtual machine. But let me go to my physical device and click on dynamic lock. Say allow. And you can see at this moment it's actually trying to configure dynamic lock on this device. Definitely you are not seeing the screen that is being displayed. Let me see if I can move it. I can move it to this recording. So it says it's actually asking me to add a device. So let me just make a screenshot and show you what is going on. So I think that's stop. So it says because I didn't pair any device, definitely the Bluetooth is not going to work. So for this to actually function, you will need to pair your Windows 11 or desktop device with the mobile device. So then your Windows is actually going to be checking your mobile device regularly to see if your mobile device is closer to your computer. So if you move away from your computer and your mobile device is not closer to your computer, definitely, of course, your Windows PC will get locked out. So we also have some other options here. So here you can see it says automatically save my restartable apps and restart them when I sign back in. So when you put this on, definitely it's going to actually restart all your apps and restart restartable apps and restart them when you sign back in. So not when you restart your device, but when you sign back in. So I'm going to actually put that off. And here it says show my account details such as my email address or on the sign-in screen. So you can actually put this on, but be actually careful in case you are working on a cafe with your device or your laptop and you actually lock your device. So you're going to show your account details such as your email address, and everyone will actually be seeing it. So I don't think this is actually advisable to do, except your device is actually, you are using your device, it's a desktop device, and you are using it constant at home or a laptop, and you don't take that device along with you to go out. Well, I'm actually doing this on my laptop physical device. Let me switch back again to my virtual machines. So you can see we have the same settings here. Actually it says use my sign-in info to automatically finish settings up after an update. This is actually on by default. So if I scroll down, it says lock screen personalization, app and status background pictures and animation. So we can actually just click on that, and you can see that we have the different option to actually lock our screen status. And it says choose an app to show the detailed status on the lock screen, we definitely can actually use a calendar. But actually, I discussed about this in one of my video, which I focus on personalization. That's the part 4 of this Windows tutorial. So you can go to the part 4 and see when and watch how I actually discuss about personalizing your Windows 11 device. So let me just go back again by click on that arrow there. So it's going to take me back to my account and then sign in options. And also, let me just try to close this account, so I'll minimize account settings for now. And also, if I go to my start menu here, or I right click on my start menu, you can see we have the option to say shut down or sign out. So we have sign out. I can put this device to sleep, I can shut down, or I can restart. But if I click on my start menu also, just click on that, and I click on my name here, you can see we can sign out, we can log out. And if you look at the right hand side here, we have the option to actually, if I click on this power option, we can actually put this device to sleep, we can also shut down, and we can restart. You can see we have different options here. And also, if I go to my, let me just go to the send control alt del, you can see we can actually log this device, we can switch to a different user's account, we can sign out, we can change our password, and we can as well open the task manager. So from these options here, we can actually switch, for example, to Thomas' account. So if I click switch, so it will try to actually switch. Here you can see I can sign in with my PIN, but here we have the option called Thomas, and I can switch to Thomas' account and then enter the password for Thomas. Well, if I enter the password of Thomas, there's going to create Thomas' profile for the first time. So let me switch back again and use my PIN to sign in. So let me discuss about security in your user's account management. So let's say you want to create an account for your child or for a teenager, and you don't want to grant a full access to that user. So let's say if, for example, you have a child who's just about 10 or 12 years old, you want to actually control what that user do on your device. The best way to actually create an account for that user is to create a Microsoft account. So if I go to my settings, let me go back again to account. So on account, you can see we have the option called the family and other users. So when I click that, you can see during the creation of an account, I created a local account which I click on add account. So by adding an account, it will actually warn you. It says, well, I don't want to use, let me just say I don't want to use an email address, and I will click this option. And here you see it says create an account. So it's actually asking me to actually enter a user's email address. But I will say I add a user without a Microsoft account. So if I click on that, so just read what it says here. So it gives me the option, say if this account is for a child or a teenager, consider selecting back and creating a Microsoft account. So when younger family members log in with a Microsoft account, they will have the privacy protection focused on their age. So I would advise you to actually, if you're creating an account for a teenager, you definitely want to create an account using the Microsoft account. So creating a Microsoft account doesn't take more than 5 minutes or even less for you to just create an Hotmail or an Outlook.com account. So it doesn't take less than, I think, 2, 3, 5 minutes of your time, and definitely you will have a more secured account. So I will not advise you to actually grant a standard user, which of course we have access to. I'm going to show you what an administrator can do with your device and what a standard user can do with your device. Then you have a general overview of if you grant your child who is about 10 years old or 8 years old the standard user's account, what he or she can surely do with your device. So let me close this. So before I go further to actually show you the different options of the admin account and user's account, so let me discuss about the access control in Windows 11. So let's say you try to install a software, you receive the beep that actually requires you to confirm that you are an admin, or you want to allow this software to make changes to your device. So what is going to happen is this. If I go, let me just go to the control panel. So if I go to control panel and under user account, you can see we have the option called change user account control settings. So what is actually the UAC all about? So with the user's account control settings, when this is turned on, an administrator who's signing in get two securities access token. One that has the privilege of a standard user and one that has the full privilege of an administrator. So an administrator, even if I'm logged onto this device as an administrator, let me just give you an example of what I'm talking about. If I try to open the registry file, so despite the fact that I'm logging to this device as an administrator, I still receive this pop-up options which says, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Then I will click yes. So every time I try to start the registry, I'm going to get this option. So the only way I will not get this is, for example, let me close this again. I start the CMD as an administrator, which of course I'm going to get a pop-up. I'll click yes. Then I can start the registry ready date from here without getting that pop-up. But without this option, I would definitely be getting that option to actually allow this app to make changes to my device. So whenever you attempt to walk through a controlled door in Windows, for example, when you connect to a shared printer, or anytime a program attempts to do so on your behalf, the operating system examines your security access token and decides whether to let you pass. If access is permitted, you notice nothing. But if the access is denied, you get to hear the beep and a read a refusal image. So if, for example, Thomas Johnson tried to access the registry and Thomas is not an administrator of the device, Thomas is going to get access denied. Thomas will not even get an option to actually allow the app to make changes to his device. So to actually control that settings, here we have the option change users account control settings. You can see it says choose when to be notified about changes to your computer. At this moment, it says notify me only when applications try to make changes to my computer. We can take it very high. You can see it gives me more options. I make changes to Windows settings. But if I take this down or totally down, it says they never notify me, which of course is not recommended. So let me just click OK. Of course, I'm going to get this. Do you want to allow this? I'll say yes. And if I go back again to my set menu, I type for registry and I click the registry. You can see the registry opens without any notification or without any issue. So, but I'm going to turn that back again because I love to be notified about changes that want to be made on my device. So by doing this, clicking OK, if I go back again to my registry and I try to open my registry again, you can see I'm going to receive that pop-up. So that's how you turn up that pop-up that confirms or warns you if you want to allow changes to this device. So let's finally discuss about the user's account and the security groups. So if I go to let me just open the computer management. So if I open computer management, you can see we have the local users and groups. So if I go to groups, you can see we have the different administrator, we have the different security groups. So the security group, so if I add Thomas, for example, you can see I am in this group. I can decide to add Thomas to this group. Let me just add Thomas here and then check name. You can see we have Thomas. I can add Thomas to this group, click apply, click OK. Automatically Thomas account becomes a member of the admin group. You can see that Thomas is now an administrator. And also we have, if I go back again to groups, you can see we have the guest account of the power users and we just have the users. You can see that Thomas is still a member of the users, but I can actually remove Thomas account from there, and now Thomas will only become a member of the administrator group. And here we have some power users. Of course, the power users, let me just say the power users are included for backups, compatibility, and possess limited administrator power. So the backbone of Windows security is the ability to uniquely identify each user. So while setting up a computer or at any later time, an administrator creates a user's account for each user. So the user is identified by a username and is normally secured by password. so which the user provides when signing in to the system. So first of all, an administrator account. So members of the administrator group are classified as administrator account. By default, the administrator group includes the first account you create. So which means that if I go back again to my administrator, you can see my account, which of course I use to create this device, is in the administrator group. And secondly, every single user you add to this group become an administrator. So, and also, but you have to know that the administrator have full control. You can see on this device we have an account name called administrator, and that account name is disabled. And mind you, to disable an account, what you just need to do is to right click that account. Here we click properties, and here you can see it says, I can actually put it and says account is disabled, and click OK. You can see that the account of Thomas is now disabled. You can see by default the administrator is disabled. You can actually just uncheck the account is disabled and click OK. But mind you, I don't have a password for that account. I can decide to set a password for the user account and just enter a new password. And click OK. And the password has been set. But let me just disable that account back again. And disable. And here we go. So among the tasks that an administrator can perform are the following. 1. They can create, change, and delete users' account and group. So which means if I grant Thomas to become an administrator, Thomas can create users' account on this device. But if Thomas is just a standard user, Thomas will not be able to create an account on this device. The user will be able to install and uninstall desktop apps or programs. They can configure automatic updates with Windows Update. They can install an ActiveX controller, for example, or they can also install or remove hardware devices drivers. They can configure share folders and set permissions on folders as well. They can actually take ownership of files and also restore backup of system files. They can actually configure Windows firewall as well. But the standard user, which of course is not if the user is not a member of the administrator group, members of this users group are classified as a standard users account. So a partial list of tasks available to standard users account includes the following. 1. Change the password and picture for their own users account, so they can only change their password and not for a different user. So they can use desktop programs that have been installed on a computer. They can install system and driver update using the Windows Update. They can install and run apps from the Microsoft Store. They can also configure a secure Wi-Fi connection. They can install and run apps from the Microsoft Store. They can also create, change, and delete files in their document folder and the shared document folder. So mind you, they will not be able to delete files or modify files in a folder that belongs to a different user if they don't have access to that folder. They will also be able to configure power options, sign into safe mode, and view Windows firewall settings. They will only be able to view it, but they will not be able to actually configure or change any Windows firewall settings. Thank you very much for taking your time to watch this video. This is the part 10 of my Windows tutorial inside out training, which of course this is the managing users account, password, and credentials. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more IT videos. If you think this video has been of any help to you, don't forget to give me a thumb up, and also you can share this Windows 11 tutorial if you think this video can be of any help to someone. If you have any question, just leave a comment below. Leave your question on the comment below this video, and I'll reply to you as quick as possible. You can always also send me a personal email. When you just scroll down to the last section of the description of this video, you're going to see my email address. You can check my Facebook, LinkedIn, and my Instagram account as well. So you can always send me a personal email address, and I'll reply to you as quick as possible. And once more, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, if you think this video can be of great help to someone, please don't forget to share this video. And also, give me a thumb up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's go to the 100,000 subscribers, and I'll be great for you becoming a member of my IT groups. Thank you very much and see you next time. Bye.